absolutely. Nigeria Chambers from Big O Belt Media. Troy and Brandon, thank you so much for your time today and super excited to talk about your new series On Call coming to Prime Video January 9th. How you two doing today?
Good, man. How are you?
Thank you.
Good. I'm good. This was absolutely amazing. And you two chemistry was with all the things that's happening around you all in terms of the story, the chemistry alone between you two was an adventure in itself. I want to start off by asking you all, and you know, in all regards and respect to the professionalism of being an actor, I wanted to know how did you two both mentally prepare to step into the day-to-day of these police officers and their routines? Because essentially you're going from routine stops, you know, you witness assault, just animal brutality, child endangerment. I mean, it checks every box. And at some point, you have to start to wonder if your mind wonders and understands that these things actually happen on a day to day. And we even do see moments where Officer Harmon, you know, we get these small moments of isolation, but never any time to process because the next thing is up in the next 10 seconds. So just for you to understanding just the emotional toll that it takes to step into these characters, how did you prepare?
I mean, I know that you obviously have a lot to say about this, right? Because you come by it very honestly, you know, growing up, and so for me, it was the writing is just so incredible. Tim and Elliot did an incredible job, and our wonderful directors, Eric and Brenna, they just really were interested in us understanding these two people as humans. And that's what I was so, I don't want to say surprised by, but I was naive about it, you know, understanding that these are human beings that are walking into these situations, sometimes, like you said, multiple times a day, back to back to back. And they've also got their girlfriend at home, or they've got their sister at home that they're worried about, or their brother, they're dealing with their mom. And then in the middle, once they put that phone down in their personal lives, they're walking into a situation that for me would throw my life apart.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would handle it. I don't know how I would recover. And for them, it's the job of the day.
Yeah, a lot of compartmentalizing, you know, a lot of probably suppression as well. You know, like things happen so quickly that you, like, to your point, you don't have a lot of time to process. For us in the audition process, I mean, it happened very quickly. We were on set, I think, with a matter of maybe like 2 weeks or something.
Oh, yeah.
So I think for us, like, your instincts have to kick in and you just have to kind of react. And I think that's a testament to also like, a good juxtaposition to like what you see in the show as well, you know, because these officers, to your point, are jumping from call to call and they don't have time to process or to really even talk to each other. Hey, are you okay after what you just saw? And it's just I think it mirrors what it is to now police in 2024.
Yeah.
And like Troy's point, kudos to the writers because they did a really good job at just like taking something that's just written in literature and allowing us the freedom to kind of bring that, you know, to the screen.
Yeah. Amazingly said. Quickly for this next question, I want to ask you two about the duality in the storytelling. I watched all 8 episodes, and I love how
Thank you.
essentially it is the mama bear with the cub,
Yeah.
and obviously, you know, wanting to protect him, even to the point of saying, "I need to keep him alive." Powerful
Yeah.
statement there. But then there's moments where we see that the mama bear has learned from the cub. The grace of moments where he says, "Hey, call your parents," instead of what she normally would have done in these situations.
Yeah.
Can you two talk about that measure of the storytelling from learning from one another and being able to tell that story throughout the all eight episodes?
I mean, yeah. Do you want to start?
Sure, yeah. I think it's really interesting that, like any uh parental figure, you know, you want what's best for the person that you're caring for, in most cases a child. And I think there's a really interesting point in the show where Tracy starts to see him as an equal and has to just trust that everything that he learned at the academy, everything that she's tried to instill in him, that he's going to soak that in and use it when she's not around. Because the reality is, like, I know that they're partners, but sometimes a call or a situation might take her just 20 feet away from him. And she has to trust that everything that she's learned and tried to pass on and instill in him, that he can be able to implement that into his, you know, into the calls he responds to. Sorry.
No, not at all. I think you said it perfectly. And this is such a wonderful question. Thank you so much. Because you're starting off the season with Tracy reeling from a tragedy, and a tragedy that involved somebody that she mentored and somebody that she cared about deeply. And then all of a sudden, here she is, freshly, bonded to this new person. And so she's got very high stakes, and she's got a lot of fear, I think, around how can I do it differently? How can I make sure I do it better? And that comes out as a lot of tough love.
Yeah.
But like you said, she's still his training officer. She's got to trust him, and she has to know that he has her back. So it's almost like she's gonna always keep an authority and say, like, I know what's best. You have to trust me. But then at the same time, there are these situations that they're both in where it's like they're just shoulder to shoulder.
Yep.
And there's no hierarchy. And then she has to figure out, when can I start letting him? That was a really fun thing to work out as the season progressed, was like, when am I letting you call it in?
Mm-hmm.
When am I letting you take the lead?
Yeah.
When, and because it's wild that we're doing this, answering these calls. And this is a learning job for him. He's like, this is a teaching hospital,
Yeah.
But it's wild because, like, when we show up on a scene, we can't let anybody in the community know that. We've just got to be two police officers showing up for duty, but he's just learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciate the time and the amazing answers today. This has been a fantastic series, Troy and Brandon. Thank you so much for your time. And once again, On Call, premiering on Prime Video, January 9th. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ridiculous.